up, 17th Ave family? Listen, all of y'all, my 17th Ave family, man. 17th Ave family is about anybody who want to do the right thing, who want to uplift, who want to change their life, who want to change other people's lives. That's what the 17th Ave family about. It ain't about one block or one neighborhood. It's about all over the world. Those people who want to, make changes in their life. Those people who don't want to stay on the same level. That's what 17th Ave family about. So welcome everybody, my 17th Ave family, all of y'all who feel that way. You see what we rocking right here. You can donate and get yours once we get it all out here. We're gonna have it out here for you guys to, purchase yours. So it's so much more. We doing things here, man. That's what we about, and we about people who are about that. You dig? So, welcome to Keeping It Real and Peep Game TV live podcast. I'm your man Shadi Ali with my man Jay Sean, aka Mr. F Love. And this is Thursday, August 13th. So let's get it. So what's going on, my brother?
Hey, what's going on? Same old man. Feeling good on this Thursday, the 13th. I thought it was Friday for a minute.
You speed it up a day.
Yeah, I thought it was Friday. I had took a little nap and then I woke up. I said, "No, it's not Friday. It's Thursday." That's why I was like late getting to you. It's like
Oh,
almost getting to
okay.
you. Yeah,
Yeah.
I had took a nap, that afternoon nap. You
All
know
right.
that when you older, that afternoon nap feel good.
Get that snooze.
Yeah, so I took a little nap for like an hour and a half, something like that. So I'm rejuvenated and
Okay,
ready.
that's
How
good to
about
hear.
how about you? How you feeling?
Yeah, I feel great, man. I didn't even get a nap. You know what I'm saying? I didn't even get a nap today, but I feel great.
That's what's up.
Just looking forward to what's going on. Uh, Happy to see the people. So you guys can call in. It's 973-460-1610. Call in. We're waiting for our first caller. The first caller, you go get a T-shirt. We'll send you a T-shirt. You know what I'm saying? So we trying to give you something. We just want you to call in, let us know how you feel. Anything that we can do about the show to make it better, make it suitable. We about that.
Yeah,
So let us know.
definitely,
And
definitely.
yeah, and when we get on a topic that you want to comment on, call in. That's 973-460-1610. All right.
Yep.
So I started off with I guess it's on you to answer the first question.
Yeah.
But you got anything else you want to discuss before we get into the questions or anything?
No, not really. I'm just
No.
feeling
Okay.
good.
Okay.
That's all.
All right. So let's get into it, man. Let's start with something you know foundational, something every black family debates at some point. You know, if you had to choose just one, what would it be if you had to choose just one thing and for a black family to prioritize to make your top thing as a black family, you had to choose one thing at the top of your list that each black family should go after. What would that thing be? Would it be a house, land, business, or some other type of investment?
Um, I when a lot of times when we do these questions too, I try not to like really read them or think about them until we start the show for it could be like authentic.
Okay,
Um,
that's it.
and that's a good one right there. A home, land, and what's it? Home, land, investments, or
Homeland,
what?
business, and or
Oh,
investment, some type of investment. You know, which one would be at the top of your list between those four, and why? Why would you choose whichever one you choose? Why choose that
I would say businesses.
one? Okay.
Um, I say businesses because we all old enough now that we had our youth, we had our teen years and our adult years, and we got children, we had parents and everything. And my vision is this: that if you teach your kids, was something I should have did. If you teach your kids businesses, then businesses can be passed down. Because I always like when I see restaurants and they be like born, started or born or started in 1945.
Mm.
He'd be like, my great grandfather started this hot dog, thing, and then he went to his father and his father. So I think generational business is because all of them is important. A home is important too, but I think that the way I'm thinking that if your parents have a home, most of the time they could leave you a home. If you got a home, then you got land because the house is on land. Um, Investments is good, but I think that's something that you really got to go to school for to study before you just start. Because you could lose a fortune in investments. Somebody could leave you a lot of generational wealth and you could blow it all on stocks, or you know what I mean, or you can lose that. Not saying you can't go wrong with a business. You can't go wrong. You could go wrong with a business too, but I'm talking about um, family businesses passed down to each other. You know what I mean? So, like my father had a laundromat. By now, my brothers and sisters and their kids and my kids, we should have about 20 laundromats. Not even in Patterson or everywhere, all over the tri-state. You know what I mean, and turn it into something big. So a chain of laundromats or a chain of cleaners or whatever it's gonna be. So I would have to go with businesses, man. How about you?
Um, for me, I would go with land. I would go with
Land,
land because with the land, depending on how large the land is, you can put the
right?
home, you can put the business, and you can put
Yeah,
other things for investment on that land. You
right.
dig? So like now, so say you get enough land and you build like townhouses on the land.
Yeah,
Now you got homes, an investment, and a business all in one.
yeah. No, that's
You
true.
dig?
That's
Now
true.
you have some other land that you set aside for farming, where you can grow your own food, grow your fruits and vegetables.
Yeah,
You can do that, open your little produce section and sell that, depending on where you at.
yeah,
So for me,
yeah,
the land would be the ideal prospect because the land you can do much more. You're not just limited. I mean, you can get a house, but most times, depending on where you are, the land is going to be, you know, maybe an acre or two, depending on where you at. So, yeah,
yeah.
I would go with the land, man, and just go from there. Because
Ye-
already had a house, so already have a house. So that would be for me.
Nah,
Get that land.
I could understand. I could understand that land would be valuable because with land you could have all the other stuff. You could have your home on the land. You could put your businesses on the land, and you could do your investments on through all that. All that'll lead back to the land, And a lot of people choose land over. A lot of people want land, and in different rural areas and southern areas and different stuff like that. Because imagine if you got land in the south,
Right.
it could be very prosperous. Depending on how
Absolutely.
many acres you got, it could
Right.
be very not as far as farming and agriculture, or however you want to use it. Um, my father had some land down south, and they put trailers on it.
Okay.
So they made it
Yeah. Like a
where
trailer
people
park.
put them
Right.
trailer home. Yeah, yeah, yeah.
Right.
So land is good. I like that one.
Yeah.
Um, Let me see. Moving right along is uh.
Yeah. If you guys want to call in and you got a view on it, 973-460-1610. You can call in and let us know what you think. Which one would you choose?
Yeah, give us your opinion on it. That's right. Is being happy. We talk about this a lot, and it's important too. Um, is being happy based on the actions of someone else, or is it based on the actions you provide for yourself?
When it comes to happiness, for me, I believe it's what you do to make yourself happy. Because if you solely put your happiness on someone else's action, there's going to be a lot of times you're going to be unhappy. Unfortunately, that's my view.
Yeah,
Now, can someone increase your happiness? Of course. There's things people can do to increase your happiness. That when you see your children doing well, that makes you happy. When you see your spouse doing well, that
right,
makes you happy. Family members doing
right.
well, that makes you happy. You know, I mean, so there are things that people can do that can make you happy. People appreciate some of the stuff you do for them. That makes you happy. However, yeah, I would have to say that it's important for anyone to find things that make them happy. Whatever it is, if it's going hiking, if it's riding your bike, if it's going jogging, if it's watching TV, playing a video game, whatever it is that makes you happy, it's something that you as an individual need to do for yourself. Don't rely
Mm,
or put your happiness in someone else's hands because there's a lot of people out here are disappointed at this point because they have put their happiness in someone else's hands. Peace, Just. What's up,
that's
Cat?
true.
What's up, Shoshana? So what is your view on it?
Um, well, I always preach that you gotta make yourself happy. You know what I mean? But you do want other people to aid you in that a little bit if you're in a relationship. You know what I mean? You always want somebody to brighten up your day, because you can love yourself. We all know that you can love yourself and make yourself happy, but there's nothing wrong with somebody else adding on to that. Like
Absolutely.
somebody else bring, like you said with your kids and everything. Like you would like for somebody to bring a smile to your face. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Uh, to make you laugh, or make you happy during the day or during the night or whatever. Um, but all in all, I think you got to make yourself happy first. I was saying last week, I was saying that a lot of people, you hear sometimes a lot of people saying they hate to be alone, and I was telling people that if you don't like being with yourself, what make you think somebody else like being with you? You know what I mean?
That's a good
So
point.
you gotta love yourself. You gotta like yourself first, before you depend on somebody else to make you happy.
Yeah, that's a
Yeah,
that's a
that's what
ve-
I
that's
think.
a, that's a very good point. If you don't like being around yourself, how do you expect someone else? Yeah, that's definitely a good point.
Yeah,
You know, any of
yeah.
you watching, if you want to chime in, you can call 973-460-1610. All right, we're looking for our first caller for the day. So let it be you. Don't be afraid. Conquer your fears and make the call. That's all. All right, let's move right along. Now let's shift to something into the emotional side of life. You know, what cuts deeper, being betrayed by a friend or being betrayed by a lover? And why does one wound linger longer than the other?
And why does what?
Why does one wound why would one hurt you more than the other? So basically, if
Oh,
you
okay.
from getting being betrayed by your lover versus a friend, a close friend.
Okay. Or a lover.
Yeah,
Um. Well, I mean, if we talking about lovers, I guess you talking about like we talking about in a relationship, husband, wife,
right,
boyfriend,
right.
girlfriend. Um, I think being betrayed by like a wife or a husband gonna cut deeper. Because a lot of times when you think about it, a lot of times when you think if you really really think about it, you knew your friends longer than you knew your wife. You know what I mean, or your girlfriend. So more than likely, if things happen with them, that could pass. Or you don't see them like you see somebody you living with every day. But if somebody you live with every day that you married to portray you, then that's different. Cause now that's somebody you going to sleep with at night. You know what I mean? So you turning you closing your eyes to. That's somebody who food you eating. You know you eating every day. That's somebody you trusting with your money. Um that's somebody I think is different because y'all more close, together in a house. Even if y'all don't live together and that's your woman, it's still the same and she able to come and go and you able to come and go at her. So I think to me, I think it cut more because it's more dangerous and it's more uh life like it live longer because that's somebody you planning your life with, and if that's your wife and she betray you, depending on what it is, what make you think she wouldn't do it again? Or in that time it might have cost you money or something. The next time it might cost you your life, or it might cost you uh, your um your whole finances, like your all your money or all your respect, or you know what I mean, or whatever, something like that. So I think more like your lover, uh,
Okay.
being betrayed by your lover or your wife or your husband or something is worse. What about you?
I would have to agree with you. Because most times you've known your friends long enough that you kind of know what they're capable of. You know what I'm saying? So
Yeah,
like some things they'll do, and it don't even really bother you that much because that's how they get down with certain things. So you'll be
yeah,
like, man, that's a part of his personality that you know, I dealt with that years ago. That they didn't get rid of that. Now, as you were saying, with a significant other, there's more invested. There's more
Mm-hmm.
invested, especially where we are now in our age. You know what I mean? And our journey of life now. Our journey of life now, it's more about, okay, being around people, especially in your inner circle that you can trust. And as you said, if
Yeah.
you got property with this individual, you got banking accounts, you got you know other assets that are meaningful, and beyond that, you have a deep emotional connection to these individuals. That deep emotional
Mm-hmm.
connection that you have with the individual. Now, if they betray you, that's kind of severed. That's kind of,
Yeah.
it's kind of ripped apart now because, as you said, how do you trust them after that? Depending on what it is, depending on whether they
Yeah.
stole something from you, whether they lied to you, whether they creeped on you. It's a lot of different things that a person can do to betray you. But either or, it will affect the trust. And once the trust is
Mm-hmm.
broken, the relationship doesn't. It's like trying to ride around with two flat tires. You know what I mean? You can get somewhere, but you're not really getting nowhere really like you would if all them tires had air in them. So you driving, but you
Yeah.
bumping along, and it's an uncomfortable ride. So it's
Yeah.
similar to that, like where you get caught up in that. So yeah, I would definitely have to agree with you that being portrayed by a lover, significant other, would actually cut deeper and be more devastating to you and your
Mm.
livelihood and other things in your life. Because let's face it, the person you, like you say, you sleep with, you wake up to, this person has a more profound effect on outcomes in your day. Like we were saying earlier, you don't need no one to make you happy. You want to make yourself happy. However, if you got a person that has betrayed you, how happy are you going to be being around that person? You know.
That's
So you
true.
dig. So you
Yeah.
dig. So that's something. Yeah, that was a good question, but definitely, yeah, definitely something that I'm sure most of us have either dealt with or may deal with in the near future. Hopefully, you dealt with it and got past it. Hopefully
You
that's the
right.
case.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Yeah.
rather than dealing with it and dealing with it soon.
That's a fact. That's a fact. Um. Okay. Um. A lot of us, we probably noticed it when we was young, but we probably didn't notice it as much when we see like our we used to watch our parents coming in and out the house from work. And we was young, you probably never we never really even thought about it, because I never even really thought about it. I used to see my father coming in and going out to work. I never really thought about how he feel, or I never really thought about his struggles. Was he tired? Did he want a day off? Did he need a day off? I never really. When you're young, you don't think about stuff like that. But when you older, you too. But with that being said, is how you feel more important than the well-being of the family or your family?
Now that's a good question because right now we're in an age where feelings are being promoted much more than they were in the past. How people feel,
Mm.
respecting people's feelings, and don't get me wrong, there's nothing wrong with expressing how you feel, having your feelings recognized. All that is good. However,
Mm.
when for me, my opinion and how I, like to live my life, I look at it as your feelings. Sometimes you will have to put your feelings aside for the well-being of the family. As you just said,
Mm.
how about you don't feel like going to work? You feel like quitting your job and you don't have no other means
Mm-hmm.
to feed your family. So now, do you quit your job because you don't feel like you want to work there anymore, and now your family has not only nothing to eat, nowhere to live because you're the breadwinner. So for me, your family and some your family's well-being supersedes your feelings when it comes to their well-being. If if you know, especially if it's younger children, you know what I'm saying? Especially when you got younger children. When the children get grown,
Mm-hmm.
okay, now how you feel, you want to let them know. You want to, but like you said, when you was younger, father used to go to work. You didn't think about how he felt having to go to work, but obviously he felt something. Obviously he felt something, but he didn't allow how he felt to stop him from going to work and bringing that bread home. You got
Right.
to know some days or nights when he went to work, he didn't feel like going, but the well being of the family, was more important
Yeah,
than how he felt. So
that's
that's the
true.
thing, and then let's look at it from another view, where you have individuals who go the opposite way, where they allow their feelings to supersede the family. Where, okay, let's say somebody decides rather than pay the rent, they want to go get them a pair of Gucci's. You know what I mean? A Prada bag, something like that. Now they behind in the rent because their feelings came before the family. Now they about to be evicted because they decided to get a Prada bag or some, you know, a Gucci outfit or something like that, or decided to buy a car. I mean, to buy a Mercedes, which they know they couldn't afford, and pay the rent and put food on the table and all of that. So now they have allowed their feelings to affect the well-being of the family. So now the family's suffering because they felt I want to be driving in this nice whip. I want to be stunting. I want to be stunting, but they could only afford a Toyota. You know, so yeah. So
Yeah,
I would definitely say when it comes to the well-being of the family, I think we all should be able to put our feelings aside for the sake of the family, and not to a point where you completely put yourself aside to where you don't do anything for yourself. So I want to make that clear that you don't just forget about yourself, and because without you, you're not going to be useful to nobody in the family anyway. So that doesn't mean let yourself go. Don't think about yourself. Don't do anything to uplift yourself, take care of yourself, motivate yourself. No, it doesn't mean that. It means it's certain situations that could be harmful to the family, and it's not something that you need to do. It's more or less something you want to do. Choose your family's well-being over something like that. That's what I'm saying. What's your thoughts?
that's when you say that, that make me think of that make me think of my father when how I never really understood how, but that these was the people from the other generations before us. How I used to see my father used to work, and then I didn't never see him put his money in my mother's hand, but I seen him bring his check home and put it on the dresser. You know what I mean? I never seen him like just hand it to her, but I seen him week after week come home and give his check to my mother. I never really understood that. Really, it was kind of confusing to me. and it, um, but now that I'm older, I found out that a lot of older people did that. Like the I guess the men worked, and I guess the woman paid the bills and took care of the household or whatever.
Yeah.
But I guess that was I guess he was putting family first. You know what I mean? and in that situation, and he did that forever. So I guess in that case, that's like somebody putting the well being of their family before they own um not livelihood. What's that
Their
word?
own wants. Their own
Um
wants.
yeah, they own
As
wants. They own wants.
Shoshana said, you know, and
Yeah.
you know, yeah, it's that's what it's about. It's about being able to, prioritize, as she said.
Right, right, right. Yeah.
And
I seen him do
Dawn
that for
said it's all
years.
about what Dawn said is all it's all about living and being covered through everything. You know, yeah, it's
Oh,
about
oh yeah.
yeah, it's about living and making sure
He
things are
talking
covered.
about spiritually.
Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah. Well,
Um
the spiritual part
oh
is always great.
yeah.
So that's it's on me now for you.
Yeah.
Yeah, but but that what you guys said is that something I wanted to chime in on when you were saying that during those days the men would just give the woman the money and allow the
Yeah.
woman to take care of the bills. And yeah, that was a dynamic of the way things operated during then because the women were like the what you want to say, like the CEO of the house. You know what I'm saying? They was the CEO of the house. They was
Yeah.
running the business, making sure. So the father come home here. Where I give this to the CEO. Now remember, the mother got to make sure you get some clothes. She got to make sure the mortgage is paid. She got to make sure the lights on. You know what I'm saying? And,
And don't forget, we all had big families. So so the house they really had to be like a CEO.
right,
Cooking dinner every day for 5, 6, 7 people,
right.
and that's having enough food for to the week for that, and like you said, paying the mortgage and the whatever and whatever. So it really was like the being the CEO.
Oh yeah. So and that's why they were respected as this was another job. It's another job because
Yeah.
you got 5, 6, 7 people in the family, not counting the parents. You know, and now you got to have food, like you said. You got to think of what first. You got to think of what you're going to prepare. What
Every day.
yeah, what you're going to cook, and hopefully you may have some leftovers so you don't have to cook the next day. You know, so now you got to
That's
make
why.
sure.
That's why.
Go ahead.
That's why. What did? That's why. Like what was if you could say what was something that you ate so much of when you was growing up? Because like in my house, like we ate. I think me and my sister joke about it. Like 5 days out of 7, we had fried chicken, rice, and pork and beans. Like 5 days out of
Well, chicken. Yeah, you ate a lot of chicken back then. There was a lot of chicken.
7.
Yeah,
A lot of
you ate a
chicken.
lot of chicken. Rice, yeah, rice, beans, uh,
Beans, yeah.
yeah, rice, beans. What else? You know, every now and then you get some
Y'all ate a lot.
meatloaf.
Y'all ate a lot of chicken.
Yeah,
Y'all
yeah,
ate a
yeah,
lot of chicken too.
yeah. Baked chicken, fried chicken.
Yeah,
Yeah,
yeah.
yeah. Yeah,
So
but
I guess it was. I guess there was a lot of chicken in them households.
and it wasn't as expensive. It was something that you could get a lot of for a low price. You know, and then
Yeah,
there was a lot of pork chops,
a lot of pork
pork chops,
chops,
pig ears, pig feet, all
pig
that
feet,
kind of stuff. Yeah, so all of that kind of
chicken gizzard,
yeah, chicken gizzards.
chicken gizzards, and all that stuff.
So there was a lot
Yeah,
of but all of that took strategic planning on the wife's part. So really,
yeah,
the father kind of had it easy because all he did had to go to work and bring that check
yeah.
home.
Hey yo, I never thought about it. I never thought about it like that.
Right.
I never thought about that. You right.
Yeah,
All he had to do was go to work.
yeah. So he go to work once he ain't had to worry about none of that. What the children doing in school, homework, none of that. Look, I'm bringing this check home. My job is done now. My job once I come home, I'm off work. I ain't trying to do no work.
I never thought about that.
Yeah, man.
So,
Yeah,
so,
so
so, and don't forget, and take care of him sexually.
yeah, absolutely.
That too.
Yeah. So mothers back
Yeah,
then, that's why they were the way that they were because they had a lot on their shoulders. And women have a lot now, they say, but I think more men are, and then the women didn't work back then. So now because women are working, now they'd be like, oh, we got to split it. We got to split the load now. I'm not. Hey, you ain't just coming home dropping no check on the dresser like it used to be back in the day. I'm going out and I'm bringing my checks. We putting our checks together. So now I'm not just gonna wash the dishes. You gonna help me wash the dishes. I'm not just gonna make sure the house clean. You gonna help me keep the house clean. So now it's a dynamic now that there's a lot of clashing going on because of that. Because now the lines has gotten blurred, but back then the lines was clear. It was clear. One person did this, the
yo,
other person did that.
that's a lot of knowledge right there. Like that's that I never even really thought about that. Never to just right now. I never even thought about that. That I always said that that's what made me choose the life I choose because I thought my father had it so hard, like
Right.
bringing the check. I never thought about it till just now. I thought he had it hard coming home, bringing the, working and doing all that. No, he had it easy, but it's too late
Right.
now. I already did the things I did, but
Yeah,
he he
he had it
he had
light. Yeah, you know.
he had it easy.
Right. So how come
Yeah, he had.
how come you think on the weekends they want to go turn up, go get them a bottle or something and turn up, you know?
Yeah, my father used to go play cards and drink.
Yeah,
Yeah,
that was they
yeah,
after they done work. That was their recreation. The moms didn't
yeah.
really get no recreation. What was their recreation? Going to church, like in
Going to
your case, the
church.
Kingdom Hall on Sundays.
Yep,
You know what I'm saying?
yep.
So
Yeah, I gotta talk about that. I gotta talk about that with my sister tomorrow.
yeah, man. Because hey, look, man, a lot has changed. However, we have the ability to make it however we want to make it because we have enough knowledge about what happened in the past. See, the good thing about our generation is that we have seen the other side Now we see our side and we see the younger people's side. So we're in a real key position. We're in a real key position because we got the knowledge from the elders that we can teach the young people. And we got the knowledge from our own lives that we can share with them. So all we need from them is the willingness to take our information and apply it to their lives. That's all we need from them. You know, they do that, man. We off to the races. As you said, the journey will continue, and it could be much greater than any of us even realize. But we're clashing with each other. The generation young beyond us, they think they know like we thought we knew. You know what I'm saying? They
Yeah.
think they know, like, oh man, y'all don't know what it's like out here where we at now. One thing for certain, two things for sure. It's still 24 hours in a day. It's still 7 days a week. You still got to eat and sleep. You know what I'm saying? And you're still trying to make money to survive. All the other stuff, that's just, extra stuff. But those are the key components. You still have your family. Families still need parents to give them guidance. So all the other stuff, all you got to do now is just decide, look, how I'm going to utilize what I got to make my
Yeah.
situation better for
Ti-
my children and
times
myself.
have times have changed.
Absolutely. Yeah, but not so much that we don't have the answers to make it better for ourselves.
Dawn said we're in the old school now, and we are in reevaluation times. Now, as we get older, we know what it is now. Yeah, we know now. Now that we older, but I know one thing that messed my head up when we just dissected.
That's what we're here for, man. That's what we're here for, to
Yeah,
bring some clarity on things that we may have thought we was clear
the,
about before, but now we give a different perspective so we can look at it differently. You know, that's what it's about. It's about being able to
yeah.
elevate your mind beyond what you thought was normal or what you thought was one way can really actually be another way. So that's what it's about, man.
I thought, I always said that my mother was pimping or playing my father for 50. That's what I wrote in my book. I see pimp played on him for 50 years. I think he played her.
Right, right. Because you think about it, your father wasn't trying to take you school shopping and that stuff. Yeah, you
Nah,
know
hell
what I mean?
no.
That none of that was going down. Your mom was doing that stuff. You know what I mean? School shopping,
Yeah,
all that.
no back to school
School,
nights, no
right,
nothing.
right. So your mom had her hands full. And that's why they'd be like, I gotta
Yeah,
be here with these children, this, that, and the other. And sometimes you wonder why they was kind of heated. Now you know why. Sometimes they was pissed off because
yeah.
they were overwhelmed. You know, you dig? That's
They was the real like you said, they was the real CEOs.
right. Yeah, they was the CEOs. Yeah, they was CEOs. The
and,
house is a business. It has to be run as such. It's a business, and that's where I
and
think. Go ahead. That's what people got away from, realizing that the house is a business. The children are your employees. You got to have them doing certain things. Children shouldn't be just doing what they want to do. No, you in this house, and this, you being we. This is a business. Your business is make sure you get good grades. Your business is make sure you behave yourself. Your business is make sure you're respectable. You know what I mean? So that's a part of the business. That's their assignment in the house. You know, this is a business. We got to run it like that.
and let and before we get to the next question, let me tell you the trick knowledge my mother used to run on me. My mother really never told me about getting good grades. You know, she used to always tell me, I got my diploma. Now you get yours if you want. If you don't, she never really pushed me on nothing. So I just hearing her say that, I got mine.
You
Now,
get yours.
now it's up to you to get yours. Yeah,
Right,
that's all she used to be like. Yeah, I got my diplomas. Now you got to get yours. And
right.
then that in my mind, like that's stuck in my mind. I always used to say, well, my mother got a high school diploma. You know what I mean? She had a little college, so I want to do the same thing. Like that's how I thought in my mind. Like, wow,
Okay.
it must be a reason, like she's saying that to me, like I got mine, now you got to get yours, like all the time. I got mine, you got to get yours. So that's stuck in my head a lot,
Yeah. But that
but
was that
anyway.
was that yeah, that was a good message though. I got mine, you gotta get
Yeah,
yours. Now
yeah.
a lot of the young people like you got yours and I want some of yours. so, so, so I ain't got to get mine. I want some of yours. I'm entitled to some of
Yeah,
yours.
I don't think that'll work today. I don't think that'll work today.
No, because they want some of yours. They mine, theirs is theirs, but yours is theirs. That's how they try to operate.
Yeah,
So they
yeah,
on something.
yeah.
They on something different now. All right.
And that
Uh,
lead us to the third question. It's I gotta ask you, or you gotta ask me.
yeah, I got to ask you because we was just talking about what was going on with the
Oh yeah,
yeah
yeah, yeah. That's right. You gotta ask me. That was your question. I forgot.
yeah.
We was on it so long. I forgot.
Okay. And here's a question that gets real quiet. That gets real quiet in a room. You know, how do you know when someone genuinely loves you versus someone loves you because of what you do for them? And what signs tell you the difference?
That's deep. Um, because most of us have lived on both sides of that fence. So I think you genuinely know when somebody love you because they love you um through your ups and downs, your hard times and your good times. Uh they care about you. They love you whether you got a good job or a bad job. They love you whether you unemployed or looking for work. Um they love you if they there for you while you struggling, to get what you trying to get. To the flip side of that, how do you know when somebody only love you for what you could do for them? Is somebody might, as long as you giving them money and be like, yo, go buy yourself something every week, or let's go out to eat at a restaurant, or I'm gonna help you with this, and then you can't, you maybe you can't do it one week, and then they attitude shift. You know what I mean? Now they got a different way of thinking about you, or you lose your job, and now they get cold. They got cold shoulders. You know what I mean? Or you ain't making as much as you used to. You know what I mean? Um, and then they start to you could tell you start to feel the they attitude swift and change. You know what I mean? So I think you definitely know when somebody love you because of their ways and actions, and you definitely know when somebody just love you for what you could do when their attitudes change, and and they might put pressure on you because you can't do the things maybe you did before. You going through a hard time in your life. What you think?
Yeah, I think everything you said was valid. When you can tell by how a person interacts with you when you're going through something. When you're going through something, because when a person loves you and they see that you're going through something, whether it's like you say, you lose your job or you just not having a good day, just having a bad day for some reason. Something happened at work, something happened with a family member, and they are there asking, what can they do? You know, how can they make it better? Is it anything they can do, or they giving you words of encouragement? Whereas, as you said, they could be doing it. They could give you the cold shoulder or start acting distant. Like, all of a sudden you you lose your job, or you get a cut in pay. They used to come to the door and greet you with a kiss and a hug, and have you some dinner ready. Now you come home, they slamming doors and mumbling, and ain't no food cooking. You know what I'm saying? So now you know that, okay, that love was conditional based on me providing certain things, and
Yep.
and that's the difference. So it's one thing if you didn't have food in the house, but it's another thing if they came to you and say, well, are we going to be able to go away for this weekend? We normally go away every weekend, or one weekend out of the month, and you say, nah, we're not going to be able to afford it this month because I had to cut back because I took a cut in pay. And then they start acting distant, showing another side. See, and that's when it comes to loving someone, meaning, okay, I'm gonna love you through your good, I'm gonna love you through your ups and downs, your bad, and all that. Now, that doesn't mean you have to tolerate unhealthy and unhelpful behavior. Love doesn't mean that. Love don't mean you have to let somebody mistreat you. Love doesn't mean you have to let somebody walk all over you. It doesn't mean any of that. But it does mean striving to be there for individuals that that will be there for you and that have shown you they will be there for you. I think that's the important thing for us to lock in on. You know what I mean? Being there for people
Yeah.
that be there for us, and showing them that we are concerned about their well being just as well as they're concerned about our well being. You know? So
Yeah.
that's my take on it.
That's what's up. That's what's up. All right, let's get into this. This is a good question to end the show with too, because we kind of sort of been talking about it in different ways. Um, do you think that life is fair?
Do I think its life is fair? Truly, and this might sound like generic, I think you get out of life what you put in life. I think I think
Mm,
life is people always fair? No, people are not always fair. However, life itself, I believe life itself is fair depending on how you look at what fair is. When you're doing your best to treat people with a certain type of consideration, when you're striving to be honest, upright, things of that nature. What they say, they hear some distortion. Yeah, that, I hear something. I hear it too, though. You hear it too?
what?
They said they hear some retention or something. Who was it?
Yeah, some little feedback.
Oh, think reservation is the key.
Oh shit.
Oh, yeah, 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 and yeah, and I think just being being able to see that you're putting in life and you're receiving from life. Like you plant a seed, you give that seed water, that seed gets sunlight, it's gonna grow. What I think a lot of people, there's some people who want what they're not putting out. And I think that's not fair. When you got a person who is there, let's say example, let's say you got two individuals, both individuals working, both individuals make the same amount of money. However, these two individuals came together, whether, let's say roommates, let's say they roommates. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
No sexual, none of that. Just roommates. They both working the same amount of money. However, every time it's time for bills to get paid, there's one person that always coming up short. Now, this person that always comes up short always have money to do whatever they want to do, but never has the money to pay the bills. Now, the person that always paying the bills, now this person is not having money to do what they want to do because they being responsible, paying the bills. So
Right.
in that type of situation, it's not that life is not fair, it's that you with an individual that's not fair. You know, you messing with a person that's not being fair to you. So what do? You either confront the individual to start putting the same amount of money up and see if they will do it, or you get yourself to a point where you can move away. So yeah, I do believe life is fair. I believe you get in what you put out. I mean, the only thing when people will say that life isn't fair is when loved ones are taken. You know, loved ones are taken before we're ready for them to go. That's when we'll say life ain't fair.
Mm.
However, that's a design that we have no control over. You know what I mean? We have no control over that. So I look at that design as a reminder for us to cherish people while they're here. That's that's what I look at that for. Like, okay, don't take for granted the people that you have around you now that show up for you, show up for them. Because if they're taken from you, then you'll be saying what you woulda, coulda, and shoulda did when you can actually do it while they're here. That's my take on that. On that, yeah, I believe life is fair. What's your take?
I think that when you born into the world, depending on whatever situation you in, um, you could say before 18 or as when you were adolescents that, oh, maybe my parents wasn't this or my parents wasn't that, so my life wasn't fair. But I think once you become a adult or around 18 years old, that it's up to you, whether it's gonna be fair or not, because you got a choice. If you wanna try to do something like be a lawyer or something, you got to go to college.
Right.
What comes along with that? I mean, like you just said, it's the people, whether it's gonna be fair. But you gave yourself a fair shot by going to college. Um, whether you wanna you see the drug dealers on the corner and the drug dealers and the pimps and everything. You got a choice. You could stay away from them. You don't have to hang with drug dealers or we had a choice. We didn't have to hang on 17th Ave. We had a choice. You know what I mean? So if maybe in your mind if you've seen people on 10th Ave or 12th Ave or 17th Ave or something, uh, you had a choice whether you wanted to go up there. That's you can't say that if you went up there, it's not fair, or if you didn't go up there, you know what I mean? It's not fair.
Right.
It depends. I think being fair is like in your own individuality. That's what's fair. Because if you want, you can isolate yourself from certain situations if you want to, because you don't have to go and sit. We all got to work. I mean, unless you own your own businesses. But me, other than the racial thing, I think it's pretty fair. But the people, maybe it's not fair. And like what you said about when you lose a loved one, you that's not fair, of course, because you never want nothing to happen to a loved one. But other than that, I think being fair is a choice. Um, you could take up a religion if you feel like something isn't fair and you want to equal the odds or make the odds even. You could study, you could study a religion, Islam, um, or whatever religion you want, and then if you feel like that make life fair to you, then that made life fair to you. I say why I say it's fair to me because like how I live now, um, I don't give life an opportunity to be unfair to me. You know what I mean? So far as I see it, right now it's fair to me. I get up, I do what I want to do. You know what I mean? I got my own money, my own income. I got my own stuff. So it's fair to me. I got TV, I got my laptop, I got my phone, I got my friends. You know what I mean? So right now life is fair to me. Uh, Maybe somebody younger they might feel different, or maybe you got to get to a certain level where that you feel like life is fair. But me personally, me right now, I feel like my life is fair and I could do whatever I want to do. It's nobody that can stop me from doing. I don't believe that nobody can stop me from doing what I want to do other than God. You know what I mean? I don't feel like a white person could stop me from doing what I want to do. I don't feel like a Spanish person could stop me from doing what I want to do. I don't feel like a Chinese person, Korean, Japan. I don't feel like nobody could stop me from doing what I want to do. So anyway, that's how my feel. That's my confidence and my that's my self realization. That it's fair, far as I can see, because I mean that's how I am. I'm not gonna let nobody push me off my square, or or I'm just moving forward. I'm not looking in the rearview mirror. I'm just moving forward, and it's fair right now because we on the internet. We trying to make things happen. You know what I
Yeah,
mean? That's
that's it.
ain't nobody can nobody can stop us from doing this podcast. You know what I mean? We writing books. Nobody can stop. We can write a book and you can get it published. You can write your own movie. You could drive. You can get a car, whatever your money is, and that's fair. You can't say it's not fair because you can't afford a 2026. You can afford what you can afford.
Yeah.
Um, Basically, that's what I mean. So far as I can see, for me, it's fair.
Okay.
For me, it's
Yeah.
fair.
You getting what you
Um,
putting in it. That's it.
yeah, I'm getting what I'm doing what I want to do in life. And I'm happy. But I mean, like, it's a journey to get there. Now we've been through a lot in our life.
Absolutely. And
Shit.
the journey continues.
Yeah, yeah, it continues. Cause let people tell you, tell them, yo, I'm 62, 63, 61. We all about the same age. They be
Yeah,
like, man, you still young. You be like, okay, shit,
yeah,
I'll take that. I seen Yamin today. He said his mother, 91 years old.
yeah.
Like, wow, God bless her.
That's what's up.
91 years old, yeah.
Yeah.
So, I wish I could get to be 91 and
Hey,
still have all
we
my
won't know,
scruples and
man.
everything.
The journey's still going. The journey's still continuing right now. You know what I mean? And we
Yeah.
got one of the 17th Avenue Apparel with that on it. The journey continues.
Oh, really?
Yeah,
You got one to say the journey continue? Oh,
absolutely.
see how everything coincide with each
Yeah,
other. You know
yeah. The
what I
journey
mean? And
continues. Yeah, that's it.
yeah,
Yeah,
and and that's how I see it. You know what I mean? Like I just build. I'm just a positive person. That's all. I don't deal with no negativity. And I believe that's why my life is like it is. That's why I do what I want to do. I go where I want to go because I'm positive. You know what I mean? And I ain't stealing from nobody. I ain't robbing from nobody.
right.
You know.
Yeah,
So that's just how I feel, man. And I
hey,
feel like if I continue to do that, I'll continue to be blessed.
yeah, yeah,
You
yeah,
know. So
yeah. That's why I like to say you get from life what you put in life. You know, that's we
yeah,
see,
yeah,
we see people suffer, struggling, and it's because they're not putting in life what they actually trying to get, what they want. You know what I mean? You putting in life, but
right.
you're putting in life in a manner, and it's giving you exactly what you're putting in. That's what you're getting. You're struggling because the way
Yeah.
that you do things. So like you said, I'm not stealing from nobody. I'm not trying to cheat nobody. I'm not trying to get slick on nobody. I'm not trying to lie to nobody. All of these things
Nope.
play a part. The universe has rules. Beyond man rules, the
Yeah.
universe have rules. When you do certain things in the universe ain't gonna treat you right. So
That's true.
so like Shoshana said, it's humanity. You know what I mean? It's about humanity. It's about boundaries. And I wasn't too crazy about the word boundaries myself, but I realized they're necessary in certain situations, and you need to place them on people at times because people will cross your boundaries if you allow them to. So, but that's it for this week, man. Let the people know,
Yeah.
where they could see you at tomorrow.
Oh, I'll be on tomorrow night, man. I had stopped doing Facebook and then I had went to TikTok, but then a lot of people was telling me like that, they don't got TikTok, so I'm doing both again to give them an opportunity to
Okay,
get back on TikTok. So in the meantime, I'm just doing both, but I'll be back on tomorrow night at 10 o'clock, dropping jewels. You know what I mean,
okay, that's what's up.
and hopefully making like tonight, hopefully like tonight, make it understand and understood. Um, I got can't wait to tell my sister that tomorrow. I thought,
Yeah, yeah. Let me know how that conversation go.
I thought my mother was playing. I thought my mother was playing my father all them years, but now I think different from today, August 13th, 2026.
You had an awakening.
I, I found out that he was playing her all them years.
Right, right.
All he had to do was go to work and bring the check home and stuff
That's
like that.
it.
And he probably doing everything else, doing whatever else he wanted to do.
Hey, that's
You
it.
know.
Yeah. So that's it, man. But it's
But
good.
when you
It's
broke
good.
the way you broke it down, you broke it down the way you broke it down, like the way you broke it down, like they was the ones making sure we was going to school, making sure our grades was right, making sure
Right,
the bills was paid, making sure it was food. And you think about, we had big families.
right.
Most of us did have big family.
Yeah,
If you think about the people around us, like the Clyburns. It was six of them. The Shepherdsons. I think it was about 10 of them. Um, and it was always like four, five, six, seven. How many people was in your house?
7. Yeah.
Seven. That's how many was in mine. Seven.
Right. Right.
So our mothers had to do the same thing, cook every day for seven people.
Right.
Now that's some stuff just to even think about that. That's 365 days a year because we didn't really I don't really remember us saying we ordering Chinese food tonight.
Once in a while, that was a treat, man. That was a treat when you got some Chinese, some McDonald's, some of that. That was a treat. You didn't even if you got TV dinners, that was a treat. So, so all of that was a treat, man. Oh, the way they eat now,
Yeah.
that was a treat for us. Yeah. So that's
McDonald's, what?
yeah. You didn't get no McDonald's, man. You just got McDonald's, man. That was like a special occasion. So
No, ours was White Castle. We,
yeah,
we ain't never really get that McDonald's, but my father would go to White Castle and get a million of them hamburgers, man. That was a,
right.
that was our treat, them little
Yeah.
hamburgers.
Yeah, we would get Chinese food once in a while, stuff like that. Yeah, but that was it. But you got to think about it, man. That was a lot of pressure on one individual, you know.
Yeah,
So we didn't,
that's
we
deep.
didn't.
That's really
Yeah,
deep.
yeah, we didn't really look at it that way. I used to, sometimes I just had a late talks with my mom, and she used to be telling me that stuff. So that's how I kind of start switching up with how I saw it because she used to be sharing the information with me, you know.
Yeah, yeah. And
But
my
then,
moms didn't tell me that, but my grandmoms told me something like that. My grandmother told me something like that, and that's the generation before them.
right,
So they had it even harder.
yeah, yeah, so
Because it was that's more like going to the real prejudice times,
yeah,
racist
yeah,
times. Now we talking about the 30. My grandmother. We talking about my grandmother was born in 1901. So
right,
now we talking about way back.
yeah, yeah,
So she was
close to
just
the eighteen
she was
hundreds.
telling me she was telling me about but it was different then because they ate.
They
They ate
raised their
from
food. They raised their food.
they raised their food.
Right,
Real quick, I used to go down. I used to go down south every summer for 2 weeks, and with my grandmother, my grandfather, and it used to tickle me because we used to get up and I would go with my grandmother or my grandfather in the chicken coop, get the eggs. I mean that was crazy to me. Like I'm like, you get the eggs. You know what I mean, and then they had the pigs back there. And I
right.
think the craziest thing was when I seen my grandfather kill a pig. Like that was the craziest thing. Like I ain't never seen well, the first time I seen it, he hit him in the middle of the head with a sledgehammer. The second time, I think they shot him in the head. But that's a whole nother show right there. And you ever saw it? You ever seen him cook a pig?
Cook them, yeah. Kill them, no. I seen them cook them.
Oh, but
Yeah,
cook them. Yeah,
yeah. I
that's
seen them
that's
cook them.
crazy. Even to see him cook them is
Yeah,
crazy.
yeah, yeah, yeah. Yeah. I mean, but see, some of that, the way America is going, it's going to be necessary for us to go back to some of that having our own foods. I see,
Yeah.
that's going to be something that's going to be necessary for us to be doing. You
Yeah,
know,
cause you already hear how they doing. The lettuce ain't no good. The bread ain't no good. The water ain't no good. The
right?
jalapenos ain't no good. Pretty soon we gonna have to go back to just eating up with our own stuff.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. And leave America to their vices, man, because America's I I just don't have no real good vibes when it comes to America because I see how how dirty they are, to the people,
Yeah.
and I heard somebody who was
Born
that?
and raised in New Jersey,
Oh,
Nellie
Well,
Pope
oh, that
no,
was
that's
you.
my
knows what
my
families are
laptop.
facing
Oh,
today.
oh,
Yeah,
All
my
right, brother.
laptop.
And hopefully you guys tune in to the 17th Family Live podcast on Sunday at 9 o'clock. Until then, love yourselves, love somebody, and be healthy and stay focused. Till next week,
Yeah.
peace.
Peace. Peace.